Personally, I think Season 3 of Sword Art Online is a major sign of improvement for the franchise. Sure, we've had the Ordinal Scale movie with its idle decline-induced head trauma. And yes, we've also had the Mother Rosario arc, in which personally gets too much brownie points for waving sick kid sympathy in my face. But then Season 3 was like, oh, we're just gonna make this show even more awesome, and it's all because of ya boy. So in no particular order, let this video explain to you why blonde Kirito is the Seiyo savior and why I don't like that he died. Oh yeah, this video is going to have spoilers. You saw the damn thumbnail, so of course I'm gonna touch this hoopla. You were warned the moment I took this stance for injustice. Reason number 1, he gives Kirito sustenance. Let me first try to elaborate this point by explaining it with food. You have before you a Seiyo turkey dinner named Kirito. At the start of your prep, your turkey was a dry, poorly seasoned character with nothing to show for his white meat despite swimming in the simmering juices of his thirsty harem. But then the chef decided, you know, we need to let this turkey rest a moment before we dive into the third course. So let's focus on the asa nacho side dish for this part of the table, maybe complemented with some sniper potatoes with ordinal scallions to help tide the party over until the turkey is ready. So like the chef gets all prepared for the third course and we, the audience, are eating it up, noticing the food is getting better and better as we nod in our approval. But then the gravy comes out. This gorgeous meat nectar pours delicately over the turkey, allowing the flavors to be more complex and savory for the first time in a while. Its overall change in texture revitalizes the whole experience to the point where you beg the chef for the recipe. Yugioh is that motherfucking white gravy. We're not talking about the gray shit. We're talking about that white pepper goodness made from scratch.
Oh yeah? But where are the lumps? Oh no.
Heinz home-style gravy, so close to homemade.
Anyway, at the beginning of the season, Yugioh plays a sort of brotherly role to Kirito, signified by the weird time shenanigans of their game childhood. Upon which he learns after Alice's, magic dragon ride that he doesn't just want to live out the rest of his days going by what is told to him, and with the help of Kirito's protagonist powers, gives him the courage to follow him on a journey that will benefit both of them. Kirito wants to figure out what the hell is going on, but in the process, he figures out the most important thing he needed as a character through his dynamic with Yugioh. He needed time. Time to just be a teenager. After following this egg beater's journey for a while, you soon realize Kirito only comes in 3 flavors. The White Knight, teen parent, or wannabe salaryman that just wants to go to the bar to get totally wasted. With Asuna or his female harem, he has to be the squeaky clean white knight that spouts jargon about protecting them and being human. With Yui, he's a digital daddy with no sense of child support or the need to explore that more. Probably because she's just pixels, who will probably only be relegated in the real world to just a Orihole fanfiction. And if you have to look up what an Orihole is, I'm sorry but not sorry. Which leaves the rest of Kirito's friend group of 20 to 40 something year olds to just kinda act like them subconsciously. At the end of season 1, episode 25, he has to be fucking reminded that he's too young to get wasted at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. But in this flavor, I can't really blame him when a lot of the adults around him lock you in the game forever or try to rape your girlfriend. Or second girlfriend.
Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
Kirito is always playing a role, and does that change in season 3? Nope, not really, as he's literally a mentor and kinda knight who spouts ideology at Yugioh and his female kohais. However, I don't find it boring because Yugioh and him have that brotherly friendship. Kirito in season 3 climbs trees to sneak back into the dorms, admires a female colleague without the harem police on his ass, and makes quips with someone appropriate of his age. And he cries for his own sake, his own problems and feelings, not just because my waifu's in danger. Nah, brah. In this season, he's the confidant to Yugioh's Save the Princess mission. Kirito gets to explore himself, just as Asuna got to in the Mother Rosario arc, only this time, he's doing it from a supportive role to Yugioh. Not a lover's dynamic and not one with an age gap. Just 2 bros working together with the power of hacking and friendship. So while Kirito gets to grow from this experience as a character, Yugioh gets to shine in other ways, which brings me to reason number 2. Oh, but before anyone asks, no, I am not a Kirito Yugioh shipper because I still hold up to the theory that they might be the same person via fluke-like bullshit, and I hope it gets better explained in part 2, but probably not because that's how the show goes. And now it's time for another fun-filled segment of Community Corner, the time where I highlight other outlets in the anime community in hopes that other people will have a look-see. Today's outlet is one with more aristocratic prospects, but as insightful as he may be, why the f did he make his name on YouTube blank? Yeah, I can find it knowing what he goes by, but my attention glance can't unsee this! Mr. Cynical, aka Senor Bloodylocks, aka he who voice rings like 1,000 textbooks on college exams eve, is an anti-tuber who tends to make analytical content via video essays, predictions, and the occasional shitpost, because even self-proclaimed aristocrats need a bit of fancy. Personally, my favorite video from him is his short take on Gotchaman crowds interconnecting reality with the internet, mostly because it's very thought out and in line with my viewpoints of the show's meaning, and totally not because it's my favorite sci-fi anime of all time. Either way, if you're looking to brandish your mind with thought-out commentary that may or may not span past 20 minutes on average, then check out Mr. Cynical on YouTube. And I mean it to look it up as Mr. Cynical, not blank. Just looking at that naked space is uncanny. Now if you know of any other creative outlets in this world of anime, comment about them down below or at Shannen on Twitter with the hashtag Community Corner and tell me all about it. In this time where community is more important than ever, while I may be one girl on the internet, I will always try my best. Reason number dos. Yugioh gave the show stakes again. Okay, dumb question time. What does Yugioh and Digimon have in common? Well, besides Yugioh, Digimon, both of them are the champions. They are your digital pals. One of the criticisms that I think Kirito takes for granted this season. Sure, he talks with the Cardinal about shutting down the world so that the Japanese government can't use them for war, blah blah blah. And Kirito obviously doesn't like that. Like, I get it, man. You don't have to continue with your moral ideology bullshit, but like, I don't know. I just find Kirito dejected knowing he's a real human being compared to all of his digital acquaintances. Then again, if you were told to be a simulation at the hands of a society you've never met, iRobot would be a stepping stone away from reality. Look, man, I just didn't like how smug Kirito came off with his nightly crap despite knowing it was fine for him, because he can just wake up and the potential power to add Yugioh as a Tamagotchi later came off as entitled. But whatever. The point is, when Yugioh is the main focus, I feel more invested in the plot because he can die and not come back. He's not some super perfect dual wielder that knows what's up. In fact, one of the many criticisms to Yugioh is how flawed he is to Kirito. And you know what? I defend most of them. Yes, he comes off more cowardly in the beginning to Kirito, but that's because he's facing new territory for him. He thought his whole life was just smacking wood all day, but then you up and drag him into a horde of goblins with no slayer in sight. What do you think would happen? He would bake them a cake, hit them with a rake, and stash it in the lake, all with a brave face of no fucks given? No! Yugioh was initially a very compliant person who could not even think about breaking the rules and laws. So his lack of resolve in the beginning was something to be noted, wasn't completely due to his lack of caring, but a design from above not to rebel. Well, technically, making them rebel was the entire point of the Japanese government by allowing Kirito to interact with those people in the first place, but that's aside the point. Heck, I don't even blame him when the evil naked lady briefly Jedi mindfucks him, as he's easily manipulated to believe no one loves him. In this world, she's just that powerful and maniacal, and Yugioh being data for this world would make it fairly easy to blind parts of his mind. The only real criticism I can give for someone like Yugioh is that over time, you do get bored of his character too. After every party, you're going to have leftovers, and that gravy will firm up from the fridge in 2 days' time, just now gelatinous and full of pastry fat. But hey, at least he broke free from his control, overcame the second attempt, and adapted to a situation even when he doesn't succeed in killing the administrator. If only that didn't have to go the other way around. Part 3. The Death Rant! Now, originally, I was going to add another point about how Yugioh's inclusion in the story essentially helps all the side characters, but then I thought, Shannen. That's dumb, and it makes no fucking sense. You just enjoyed that Yugioh's screen time kept Kirito's harem in check and far, far away. That's not really criticism. You should go sit yourself down and drink some tea. Sometimes in these cases, I hate critiquing works because you can't really put your biased personal resentment into play. So in this case, I'm going to turn my critique off for a minute and show you my personal resentment in droves. Why? Why does he have to die, but every female face gets to live? I mean, I know it's for marketing purposes and all the waifu cash will bring in the money, but damn, Seo! You give me a character I can root for not being an OP cheat magician, and he dies solely as a stepping stone to bring Asuna into the world, cause I know that's what it fucking was! Yes, Asuna got to be into the game, and saving Kirito will be symbolic to how he saved her in ALO, but not only does this take away his only bro to hang out with, his death signifies to me as a viewer that he was in the way. Not just in the way of Asuna and Kirito, but to adding Alice and the motherfucking harem. That's right, in the part 2 trailer, she's alive! You let the current Alice live for this sole purpose, while allowing the original personality of Alice to die with Yugioh so you wouldn't fuck up the fanbase. I bet current Alice is going to develop some feels for Kirito, because he's Kirito. Asuna is going to assert girlfriend dominance, and once again, a creepy guy will come in and wreck it all up because he wants a bit of that waifu ass. Just like always. Yugioh was the pause to that chaos. He was the pause to the routine of saving a princess in another castle. But because he wasn't a fucking waifu, he was in the way. Not to mention this gives a good excuse for if Kirito does ask Cardinal to save people, only for Yugioh not being one of them because he died too early. Oh, isn't that convenient? Almost as convenient as smashing that subscribe button at the bottom left of the video, calling for you, seducing you to click on it. But like, you do you. At the end of the day, people of the internet, you can call my desires selfish, incompetent, and downright deplorable, but realistically hypocritical for wanting him to live despite the fact it's counterintuitive to making the show have stakes again. And I just end up looking like a little super baby. But little super baby I am, because it's not fucking fair, damn it. Yugioh deserves to be in this show way longer than some of these throwaway hussies. And Klein, who in retrospect got better screen time this season, but his usefulness is ever waning, so what's the point? Justice! That is the point. Motherfucking justice. So until part 2 changes my mind, and out of all the important critique, out of this personal bias and putrid spite, I give Seo Season 3 Part 1, man, that's a mouthful, 3.5 gravy boats out of turkey. Thanksgiving may be around the corner, but nothing will moist my appetite like the savory goodness that was blonde Kirito. See you guys in another whatever video. Shannen out!